Yeah, just kind of. But I got my roots here in Kentucky now. Um, but I came across I came across Uncle Jackie here when I was living in Harlem, and as uh, as this world is, or as this life is kind of like made all kinds of turns. It's kind of scattered us to the wind, but we've managed to maintain friendship over the years. So it's kind of awesome. I'm very happy to be invited to this because I do get a chance to touch base with friends of mine that I grew to love in the time that I did live in Harlem, and we get to speak on some heavy stuff. And I'm happy to see Doc again. Good to see you, Doc. Uh, Good to see Professor Max. And yeah, that's kind of running that shit to say, so to speak. But yeah, thanks again.
Good, Doc.
Yo, what's good, y'all? You already know this is Doc, Yellow Tape, at Doc718 on YouTube. You can check me out. Thanks to Uncle Jackie for his platform. Salute to Moves. What's going on, Moves? Welcome back to the panel. Bro Fexa, what's going on with you too? Salute to all. Yeah, I already know I'm from Brooklyn. Reside out here in the Jersey area. Out here just trying to present, give y'all content, and I mean, and go with the flow, Uncle Jackie Network.
Appreciate
There
y'all.
we are.
Appreciate y'all for coming through. Who the hell is this? Oh, okay, okay. Oh, we're missing one.
Yeah, yeah.
Well, well, today we talk about a heavier subject with the Sonia Massey incident, and y'all got well versed on that. Well, did y'all, you
Yeah,
heard what you heard from what you heard from.
yeah.
We're gonna go on. We go Doc and then Moves. What's your feeling? What was your take on that situation, brother?
There's a whole take with that. Okay, let's just go by the facts and the tapes. You know what I mean? What we seen with the videotape.
I do have the
And
video too. I have the footage. So if anyone who hasn't seen the footage, I have it.
yeah, so there's two footage that going out there. There's an edited version where she got the pot and the pan being tossed at the officer, then the original one where the officer shot her for throwing up her hands after she saying, "I rebuke you in the name of Jesus."
Yeah,
Um, and just the gritty grind of that, that's just all just filth. You know what I mean? It's just all dirt and nastiness all over that. You know what I mean? She was no threat to nobody, and they kind of proceed. They try to prolong that situation than what they should have. From asking her for ID and this, that, and the third. After this was not the first call, this was like the second call, but that's just plain as day. That's black and white. But then now if you dig into the aftermath of it, or you get into the description of who the officer was, who was his relationship with, who she was on the phone with, and why she was on the phone with that person, and it get kind of grainy, get grayish. So like I said, it goes deeper than just that video. So I don't know how far you want to go, but from the outlook of what I just, what you asked the question, plain as day, it was just a horrible videotape. It was a horrible situation for Miss Massey to get caught up in, and I don't know what was going through the officer brain.
Yeah.
yourself
Oh, I'm
Moves.
eager. I'm eager. I'm eager to like. Um, I am energized to a certain level of degree that this took place on video. Not that it took place, because it was absolutely awful. It was one of the most violent things that I've seen in some time. All right, now I and I'm a kind of guy that go down a rabbit hole and watch weird executions or car accidents and that kind of crazy shit. I don't really particularly get off on it. I just like I look at it to see what these cameras have to offer. Anything outside that frame doesn't exist, right? it's an old adage as far as film is concerned, and how do you create moments with film. But the thing of it is this particular moment in time was captured for all to see good and evil battle itself within Madam Massey's house. For a moment, I would like just to, for about 15 seconds, just a respectful silence for her, as she was a soldier of God that very night. I believe that the devil is in the details. The more we delve into this, the more pissed off that we're going to get, the more upset we're going to get, and the happier that evil will be that we are upset. Um, I think that the um, the very second she saw that something was up, when she asked that officer when he walked into the place and she was sitting down on the couch, and she asked him to grab the Bible for a reason. Now we all know that old folks, black or white or whatever, they're superstitious, or that can be kind of, no, this cannot be handed off as that. The very second she answered her door, she took one look at the officer and felt threatened. You could see it in her, you could see it in her gestures and her mannerisms and how she was speaking, that she didn't feel quite well with what was going on. And for the officer to hear words
Okay.
of God being spoken and him all of a sudden just getting upset out of nowhere, instead of de-escalating the situation, or we don't want to fire here, that wasn't an escalation in any way, shape, or form. She easily would have been able to take the pan off the stove and set it aside and continue the conversation, or even just stood there with the pan in her hand. But the the thing that I think the devil wants us to see was that it was a white cop shooting a black old harmless, fucking harmless old woman. When
No, she
indeed
wasn't
it was
old. She wasn't old. She was 36. She wasn't old. Harmless, yes. Old, no.
what?
She was only
No, she
36.
wasn't. She was only 36 years old.
The
Wow.
video,
36.
the video that they show, like, and the pictures that they put up is like it's two look like two different ladies. To be honest with you, you understand? Because she looked very old. She looked very mentally
And the
sick.
picture, yeah,
That
in the
video.
in the flick. And
Yeah,
the footage, she does look like she's an older lady, but after you research her, she was only 36 years old. I
yes,
thought she was older too. Yeah,
Wow.
but then she
Yeah,
was
that's what gave
actually
me the.
a good looking woman too.
yeah. As far as
Holy
the pictures they
mackerel.
put up there, you know what I mean? So it was like
Yeah.
kind of weird seeing her, But that's how females are, they get undone. You know what I mean? When they get home and they're not usually themselves.
Yeah, but she's in a 90, and she's like she's dressed old style. Like it looked like
Yeah,
she
she
was in
was.
a like a 1960s, 1970s, like warm
Yeah, the
kind of
movie.
cozy or something to that effect. Wow, wow. No, no, I should have done more research. You caught me. You caught me.
No,
But
no.
at the
No,
same time,
it's fine, brother. That's why we all here.
Hmm.
yeah, and I agree, because as soon as I started looking up Miss Massey tonight, because you said do your research, all of a sudden these videos were popping up where, oh, you didn't see the water that got splashed on the floor, and whoa, wait a second, time out, Green Bay. I sat there and I watched the whole first body cam footage that came out, and no, there was no water on any floor. She had it in her hands when he drew his fucking weapon.
Hmm.
It was just chilling there in her hands when he drew his weapon and fired. But my whole focus is how it got escalated to the point our trigger was being pulled. It didn't matter how old she was. It didn't matter. I don't think that the skin tones. I don't think they matter. He could come out tomorrow and say he's an absolute racist and the whole 9 yards. I think it had nothing to do with race and everything to do with evil. Period. Like the devil wants us to see this innocent woman get slain before everybody, and they want black folks upset at white cops. They and that's the crazy part about it. Not this dude is not like every white cop, because like I've seen white cops, be put in weirder, louder situations and prevail to de-escalate and turn a situation not even into an arrest at that point, just because like there's a almost a full-on fight between two muscled-out fucking roid rage dudes, and they managed to talk those guys down. But this woman that says, "I rebuke you," and or I denounce you in the name of Jesus Christ. That's what sets this man off. You know, and
Right.
not fuck your mom, not fuck all your family, and I'm gonna beat your ass, I'll kill you, anything threatening. She, if anybody has no fear and no evil to fear in any way, shape, or form, then why would I would just sit there and laugh at the lady if she said that shit to me. If she said that to anybody on the street, people would just kind of giggle and keep walking. But no, those very words struck anger into that cop. He said, "You better fucking not, or I'll fucking kill you." That's it. That's what the cop said. He said, "You better not denounce me in the name of Satan or in the name of God." That's exactly what set that cop off. He drew his weapon because those words were spoken to him.
That's
Not
what it
because
seemed
fuck you, Whitey.
just like
She didn't
that.
say fuck you, Whitey. She didn't say fuck anything whatsoever. She said something profoundly religious. You see it in films. You see it on the priest. You see it in the churches, left and right. The priest asks you, or the deacon, or the pastor asks you, "Do you denounce Satan? Do you denounce Satan in the name of God?" They do it during Easter. Every Easter, every Christian faith asks you those following questions: Do you denounce Satan? Do you denounce a temptation? Are you in line with God? Do you ask these several questions? And everybody in the congregation will answer yes. These are very strong convictions when it comes down to holy wars and holy battles.
So
And those simple words. I'm sorry, I'm taking so much time, but those simple words set that man off. That's what we need to pay attention to, because it's the devil's in the details, man. That's what it's that particular detail right there that turned it from any political fucking bullshit to evil and good. And good and I believe good triumphs over evil that night. Because we saw it. We see evil. That's the last thing. The last point I want to make. We got to see evil. That's the benefit of seeing this fucking video. We got to see evil first fucking hand. And the greatest trick that the devil ever pulled against us is out. It's out now. Everybody who was a believer or was leaning towards believing in any way, shape, or form, it's now confirmed at that point, because they saw the degree. It went from 0 to 1,000 in less than a second, just because you mentioned God.
I'm going to disagree with you on that, but we're going to go back on you. We're going to take a time out from this right now. I'm going to get Uncle Jackie take on it as well. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But we're going to go back and touch it down on why people is not going to fly with that. You know what I mean? Because there's a race barrier right now. There's a black and white thing right now. So now it ain't God no more. Before it's God, there's a black and white. So we're going to go back on that. I'm going to get Uncle Jackie take on it. Uncle Jackie, what was your take on the video?
At first, I knew things were bad when they were asking the person who owns the house for their ID. Why you ask? I called you. Why is this ID so important? And I knew it was going to go bad from there, but I didn't know why. I'm sitting there like, but there was no move made. There was no hostility. And to Move's point, and I'm not I do my own thing. I'm not with nobody. When that woman said, "I rebuke you in the name of Jesus," he said, "You better not." I got the video. Man, he got more offended than I did when people say such and such bless you, and I'm not sneezing. You know what I mean? Like he turned all the way up.
Yo, he got turned up like he was in New York City streets and someone told him the SMD.
Right. Yes. Somebody told him SMD. And yeah, like he got turned up I never seen somebody go from 0 to 60 like that. That was supposed to have a badge on. And then there's no weapon at all. And then to the hot water. Okay, you got hot water. It's boiling hot water she has. You have a taser. You can double destroy her, because once you tase her, the water gonna fly in the air and then hit her. She's allowed to tell about it. So you're not in jail. So that dude, I hope things happen to him, man. Like R. Kelly should be treated. I hope he get treated the way R. Kelly should be treated.
Yeah,
Behind that
I
wall.
agree wholeheartedly that the man should suffer whatever like karma or outcome because the there's just no forgiving that, man. Like you said, man, that to take a statement like that so personal, like it's not like what she didn't even threaten, and she was a frail woman on top of that. But Taser be gone, as a matter of fact. I think I could just walk up, turn her physically around, and put cuffs on her, and she would be powerless to resist him. He was a big fucker, and dude, I mean, you see the pictures of the guy. It's not like he couldn't overpower her or not manhandle her. That woman
Both of
should
those
be
guys were
manhandled,
big guys.
but exactly. And the thing of it is this, man. Like I said before, the um the moment of silence. I forgot about that.
Oh, we can
So
take
let's
that if
give
you
it
want.
like 10, 15 seconds, please. Could we give it just like 10,
Yeah,
15 seconds?
we can definitely do that.
Yeah, here we go.
What we doing?
Just 10 seconds of silence for Sonia
Sorry.
Massey there. No, that's all right. You're fine, man. In 10 seconds is passed. We've been fine, quiet enough. But yeah, God bless your soul.
Thank you. Rest in peace. Word.
Amen.
Rest in peace,
So
Miss Lady.
yeah, and you guys, I don't mean to thump. I really don't mean to thump in any way, shape, or form. And I've been wondering. I just been wondering when a sign of a good message to mankind is going
But
to happen.
but let's take
Knowing the enemy right there is
this is what I
fantastic.
want you to do, Uncle Jackie. I know this is your show. Put on the video because in the video there's certain things that was said. You know what I mean? That
Oh yeah, definitely. Oh,
as
before I got to that though, go ahead. I'm gonna say
as an
something.
officer, coming to a scene, you know what I mean? Your job is to detect, deter, and detect what see what's going on and deter any situation that was not even deter it, but um to apprehend a criminal that committed a crime. That was your job. But you also supposed to observe the victim, and because you're supposed to make a statement, you're supposed to write a report behind this, just in case anything happened, anything go down, you're supposed to write a report. So one of the major things that when they first approach her to ask her how was she doing tonight, was she doing well mentally, are you doing right mentally, she said yes, I took my medicine. So right there, you knew that you was dealing with someone that had some type of was under some type of medical medication, and two,
Right.
he had some type of condition that she had to take medicine for. So A and B will lead you to C and D, but if you're not paying attention to A and B and you jump into C and D, C and D gonna look real weird to you when you're dealing with it. You understand? Because you done missed out the two steps before that. So
Now you ready? You ready?
it just a lot of things that's crazy with this right here, bro.
No, but here,
No, it makes sense.
I'm gonna knock y'all upside the head with a 4x4 right now, 2x4, 4x4, whatever's heavier. Did you know that woman's mother called in before and said my daughter's a paranoia schizophrenic, and she's having an episode. Can you send cops to her house, but don't send Rambo? That's not the quote, but don't send Rambo to her house. Don't send RoboCop. Send somebody with some sense to her house. That call was made 24 hours before, or the day before her ultimate demise. And that's you had the warning. Well, not what I mean, the lookout for, not a warning, because the daughter wasn't. She said my daughter's not a threat to herself or anyone else.
Mm-hmm.
But
you
had
get
these
the forewarning. That's what it is. It's called a forewarning. Yeah, the forewarning.
It's like, and she was like, I don't like cops, but please don't send Rambo to my daughter's house. And I'm gonna go with the video from the son and the dad real quick. The son's version is not long because I don't understand why they didn't tell him what was going on.
Came out here. Well, they told me. Well, I got a call from the hospital. Actually, I never got a call from the police or whatever. But they told me that my mom, she had got shot in the eye, and it came out her neck. And they didn't tell me who. They were just saying somebody. They never would tell me who. They just kept on saying someone shot her. They would never tell me who shot my mom though. So, and I think I was the first person to find it out too. I had to go tell my grandma myself. That's all I can say.
And you kept asking who?
Yeah, they wouldn't tell me at all.
Yo, every time I start watching this footage, because I had to edit it, I had to sculpt it, I had to do all of this. It just brought me to the point where I took a nap at like 5:30, 6 o'clock. I'm like, man, I'm just gonna lay down because this is just it's ridiculous. It's ridiculous. And to watch over and over to hear these people say these things and this man can't contain himself. Here's her dad.
As Mr. James said, this so-called police officer should have never been on the sheriff's force. He had 2 DUIs and he had went from multiple police departments like Vlad said. And that is a question. Why was he even on the force? We agree with the judge at the bond hearing. He is a threat to public safety.
Ben, there are so many questions here. Looking at this video, I'm telling you, this one hit different for a lot of people. None of them are good, but this one in particular hit different because she clearly, from what we could see, hadn't done anything to harm this officer or threaten this officer. Mr. Wilburn, I know that your daughter was 36 years old, had 2 children. How old are your grandchildren and how are they processing this?
My oldest is Malachi, he's 17. And Summer, Jeanette, she's 15. And we're taking it day to day. They're having a very hard time. Mm-hmm. Yeah. They're doing as best they can.
That was their mama. I mean,
yeah.
She needed a helping hand. She didn't need a bullet to the face, Gail.
Yeah, it is astounding to know that she had called for help and then she ends up the victim in her own home. I still don't understand it. This will never make sense to me.
No humanity. When the partner tries to help, he says, no, it's a headshot. You don't need that.
Yeah. Like, oh,
right.
no. Go ahead, bro.
No, I didn't. No, I was just cutting that off because I don't know what happened to the sound because I didn't record it that way. But yeah,
it's the audio that's playing on your phone and it's going into your microphone and it's echoing off of that.
Yeah, I don't even have I'm earless today.
Oh,
I don't even understand, but it's cool. It was about 20 seconds left. And they were just saying what the officer, they reiterated what the officer had said. I didn't even make it that far.
That cold response to the other officer saying, look, I need to get my kid. He says, no, that's a headshot. You can get the kid if you want. And that cold response to that shit is exactly what why the judge said that this dude is a menace to society and probably didn't get bail if I'm not mistaken.
See, the problem is another problem.
Dude, another aspect I really want to see is the other cops interview. I want to see the other cops interview. And this is what I want to fucking see too. As soon as he shot her, I have my hand. Well, what I want to hear that cop say, the other cop, when he shot that woman, I have my hand on my fucking gun because I didn't know what this psychopath was going to do next. He just shot a defenseless woman. There wasn't even any escalation. She didn't threaten him in any way, shape, or form. She had a hot pot in her fucking hand, and that was it. And I felt that if he's going to shoot her, I'm having my... By the time he's drawing his fucking weapon, I'm drawing my weapon on him. What's your problem, dude? Calm the fuck down.
But again,
Yeah, and he didn't. That's the fucking weird part about it. We haven't heard from this other cop. But the thing is that if this other cop is smart, he'll be quiet about this, and he won't give any interviews until after the hearing and the whole 9 yards, because you don't want anything misconstrued. But he was speechless. The man was speechless throughout. Yeah, throughout. What's that?
Blue wall of silence.
Blue wall of silence.
Like regardless if he was wrong or not, you know what I mean? They gonna defend each other, but I mean he gonna separate himself from that because there's no defending of that. But he's gonna say that he thought that his partner was threatened, so that's why he drew the gun as well. Like there was a threat, you know what I mean? They're gonna paint a picture as that. So,
dude, at that point, I'm contemplating shooting my partner at that point because he's about to fucking take an innocent life. You know that I mean.
He could have drew his tape.
Like,
he could have went to non-lethal. Because water.
Yeah, he could even take. Yeah. Well, and the other officer could have gone non-lethal on the officer that had his gun pulled.
Let me tell you,
bro, at that point,
that officer created that scene, bro. He created that scene.
Yeah, he did.
He didn't. That fire, that water wasn't doing nothing to nobody until he said something about it and told her you put a non-lethal dreadful person into a position in your thought, in your brain, into a lethal, dreadful matter to you. You know what I mean? I'm saying that because he put her there, and once she got there, you just totally flipped out because she had a hot pot that you told her not to deal with. You told her not to take it off. You know what I mean? You told her to cut the fire off.
Right, man. I mean, what? You know what, folks? We gonna get to the video because I know the relation. They're gonna have to make an example of him because the relationship between the city and the workers of that city, the sheriff's department, and all those police, they're gonna have a lot to deal with soon because everybody's seen it. This ain't 1985 where only a certain amount of people know and then it's mostly word of mouth. No, there is audio and video. You're gonna have to hang that man. You're gonna have to hang him.
Dude, I think that judge is gonna go for the fucking book. They're gonna throw the fucking book at him. And the cool part about it is it's a smaller community or pseudo small community. He'll be judged by a jury of his fucking peers, and he'll either go for life or he'll get the test.
Okay.
I don't know what.
Okay. Cool. That's cool. Say that's cool. Say he get all of that. Say he get the book. Say they tell him to lynch in 5 years. His sentence is 5 years. He get lynched. Just say that. But say come in November, people vote the wrong way and get the wrong people inside that office, and that person give them immunity and give them and go back and take that charge away from that person and say, you know what, he's not guilty of that. Or let me immune him. Let me I'm saying the wrong word, but let me let me take that charge away from him. You understand?
Yeah, and I think you're absolutely right when the system acts up like that. But I think since it is the information age, there's some new shit that's going around as far as civil rights, sovereign citizenship that are surfacing because it's beautiful. It really is. To a certain level of degree. If it is absolutely true, if we can manage to fucking pull this off, like no taxes, okay? No taxes. And in fact, the government will owe you, okay? But at the same time, I'm alleging this. I've gone down a bunch of rabbit holes, and maybe I'm a lunatic. I'm just regurgitating what other people are regurgitating too. Okay, so in this, in this talk, for the sake of this talk here, I'm no authorization. I'm no qualified fucking educated person. This is ramblings of a lunatic, and I'll just say that, okay? But at the same time, after saying that, there is a lot of wool that's been pulled over a lot of people's eyes, and the folks that since this information age has started, they've been trying to distribute all of this really good information from like using herbs to cure yourself as opposed to going to the doctor, etc., etc. How to farm your own garden if you want to. You can grow your own food. You don't have to worry about the government fucking issued poison that you're getting from McDonald's or fucking that kind of crazy shit. All right, so um, when you look back into when taxes were first enforced upon the American citizen, a lot of the antics that were taking place by the banks wasn't ratified when the Federal Reserve was it wasn't ratified correctly. Okay, so there is a good chance that if we vote the right folks in, and so far, a lot of power has been given to us locally at our own small communities or large communities for that matter. Okay, so a lot of the power has been given back to the state and taken away from the government, and now the state can make their own decisions as opposed to somebody who's off in fucking DC, anywhere between 40 miles away and 2,600 to 3,000 miles away. They don't have any say in what like DC would have no say in what California wants to do with themselves. DC would have nothing to do with if Kentucky wanted to do things on their own. So, like voting in the proper schooling, voting in your proper judges, your uncorrupt judges. People are becoming more and more aware of the strength of their vote when it comes down to local voting. So what ends up happening is, all right, so like here's your hack for the electoral vote. Okay, if you vote and you're in an area that is dominant of conservatives, like I say, you're surrounded by a bunch of rednecks and MAGA and the whole 9 yards, your vote won't count as much as it will when you go to San Francisco or if you go into New York City or something to that effect, because your electoral vote becomes stronger when you live in those areas. And it's easier for you in your life because you're acquainted with those lifestyles. You grew up in those areas. You know those areas like there's no tomorrow. And that's what I've done for the past 15 years here in Kentucky. Is that when in Rome, I do as the Romans do. I don't fuck with cops. I don't go out of my way. I just go to and from work, and I go to and from the grocery store, and that's it. I pay my bills, and I keep myself on low key like there's no tomorrow, and that's provided a lot of community to me. I've got friends that I don't even know, and the thing is since I vote in a conservative way, I know that I'll have more strength if I change my lifestyle to a certain different piece, as opposed to one piece or another, whether it be in the city or not. Now, do I feel bad about not living in New York anymore to a certain level of degree? Fuck yeah, man. I mean, but at the same time, I like being able to defend myself. So if I want to, I can go and take a class, because I can't, just without a license. But I can go and take a class, a safety class, and that'll qualify me to go and buy myself a weapon. But before I go and buy that weapon, I got to go through my questionnaires and all that shit. And yeah, there are weapons on the black market, but shit, dude, if you get caught with them, you don't get to buy weapons anymore. So fuck it. You know what? I go through these little steps. Here's my ID, and I earned that privilege of owning a weapon, so long as I don't go fucking waving it around and threatening people in the whole 9 yards, getting myself arrested and shit. So it's the type of piece I get to protect myself. Like in New York, man, I don't know how many fucking situations where I really wish I had a gun, but look at me standing. And whether I had a gun or not, it didn't matter because I'm standing. I'm live right now after those moments. But there are a couple of times where I thought just having a piece would have de-escalated the situation or evened up the fucking odds of me making it out alive. And it's like, I would have gotten out alive that much faster, But at the same time, those are the things I don't miss about New York City. I don't miss not being able to carry a piece. Now, in the state of Kentucky, as of 2018, I don't even need a license to conceal carry now. I can pack a fucking bazooka in my fucking trench coat if I want to. Not that I would, but at the same time, I'm allowed to go and purchase a weapon, and I can stash it on me. If I get pulled over by a cop, I tell the cop, "Hey, I've got a weapon on me. Yeah, my hands are in the air. If you want to reach in my belt or my pocket or my sock or wherever the fuck it is, and grab that, and now you're safe. Okay, cool. You know, I know I don't have any other weapons on me. That's all I fucking need right there. You know, so it's in your hands, and I'm no longer a threat. All right, what do we need to talk about?
Let me just issue this. Say certain people get elected and they want to decide to change the Constitution.
You can't. Impossible.
Why they can't? If they putting in people at certain places, and we could de-escalate, or we could terminate certain agencies that we done put up there, the dividing between wedges between the people and the government. You know what I mean?
Okay, yeah, I can answer that, as a matter of fact. And it's rude to answer it with a question, but at the same time, that question begs the question: if said agencies were going to be dissolved, what kind of fight would they put up? Okay, and these agencies have been up everybody's ass since day one, since the invention of the radio. Okay, since the invention of the radio. This is where I get my what do you call it?
No, I'm not talking about I'm not talking about the alphabet boys. I'm just talking about right now, such as the agencies, such as the Board of Education, Department of.
They're putting up a fight too.
These departments that's wedges between the people and the government is more like supporting or directed or having directives for the people and certain, lifestyles and certain things where how they want us to live. You know what I mean?
That's the way they keep parents held hostage.
Right or wrong, whether it be holy or satanic. You understand? These objectives is out there. These directives is out there and put forth to us every day. You understand? And whether we want to accept it or not, we either being brainwashed or whitewashed by it. You understand? However you want to put it. You understand? But it's been brought forth to us as people. Some people just getting dazed into it. You understand? Some people being awoke by what they seeing, like, yo, nah, I can't fall into this trap right here. You understand? But then there's some people in that balance and don't know where to flip on that scale.
Well, the whole aspect of it is that they throw so many distractions at you all at once, and then you got to deal with them all. Okay, so like the black-white thing with Miss Massey. Okay, you got LGBTQ rights that are just fucking. There are two boxers in the Olympics right now that are just destroying the female competition, the natural born female.
I don't know what's
fluid or whatever the fuck you want to call it. These are dudes beating the shit out of women in the Olympics now. And this is sorry, but nevertheless, it's so blatant. And see how I got passionate about it, Like, and I don't even have a daughter, I don't have a daughter in athletics, but at the same time, like I've got nieces and nephews and shit like that are having to deal with this nowadays. And from what I understood, I thought the deal was that the Olympics was going to stay away from this particular type of thing. But you got the Olympics, you got the Kamala Harris the debate there. Like, she's a candidate that had no votes whatsoever, and all of a sudden she's thrown upon the public there to be voted for. And it's like, whoa, wait a second. You know what? You guys pushed off everybody off the ballot except for Biden, and now the Democratic Party has nobody to vote for. Now, me as a Republican, or not a Republican, but a conservative, I'm more like an old school liberal, man. I'm there for the blue collar, hardworking dude. No war. Protect the kids, protect your education. That's it. That's all. The only Influence I want, not control, but influence I want the government to have. If I want anything, I want a little bit of influence from the government. I don't want control to be in the government's hand. Government fucks up everything they put their fucking fingers on. And 9 times out of 10, if they're going to pass something, by the time it's that money is supposed to get to the person that they help, it's already been scalped, and everybody's dipped their beak in that well. And the people that are it's intended for get dropped. Nothing, absolutely nothing. So what you do is you take back control as a country. Period. There's no ifs, ands, or buts. We got the power. But what they want you to believe is that we can't get along. What they want you to believe is that your kids will kill themselves if you don't figure out exactly what's going on in their head psychologically from day one, since birth.
Delete themselves.
Yes, absolutely. Your child will unalive themselves. Your child will unalive themselves if they don't follow this little procedure or this little program and the whole 9 yards. Guess what? I'd be yanking my kid. I'm sorry. Like I said, I don't have kids. I really shouldn't open up and say anything about it, but I'd be yanking my kids out of public school and private school with my kids the very second that my kid wanted to come home and act like a cat or, like these kids are being diagnosed long before their personalities even develop, and that's a distraction. See how upset I got about that? I get upset about all kinds of stuff because and it's because it's trying to gaslight me and push me into a direction and keep me from free thinking. I reached a point where even the fucking music that I listen to, like I'm a lighter skinned dude. Yeah, I grew up listening to 90s fucking alternative music, R&B, hip hop, rap, golden oldies, you name it. Sorry.
Language A.
My bad. But yeah, I grew up listening to everything, and now I'm realizing that all of that shit, every last good old tune that I have like great memories to, and the whole 9 yards, is there to plant those great memories in my head. No matter how good it seemed, or how the movies that I thought were fantastic and great, were come to find out they're on a particular list of people that went to this particular island out in the middle of nowhere and did crazy stuff with people not of age, and that just it crushes me at first because these are particular heroes, and I considered them heroes of mine back in the day. Now I'm reached a point where I'm like, okay, you know what? Entertainment as a whole, because the more and more I look at it, from movies, especially because they create those emotional moments to distract us, so we can take our brains out and set it next to us while we watch that fucking film, whether it be an action film where it is absolutely brainless, or it's something quote unquote was a great film like Glory, or like they're using this shit to touch our hearts to get us all pissed off. Yes, sir.
Language, brother. Gotta chill with the cursing.
Yeah,
Before we continue to keep going left, let me put up the video of the Miss Massey incident.
Yes, sir.
Your ID for me.
Okay.
Your ID. One task at a time. So let's do an ID, and then you can dig around for your paperwork.
I don't know where my ID is.
You have that stack right there, maybe.
Okay. 1 second.
Check on her.
Let me get this.
No, we don't need a fire while we're here.
All right. Okay. Let me see. Okay. Where you going?
Huh?
Where you going?
Away from your hot steaming water.
Away from my hot steaming water?
Yeah.
Oh, I would rebuke you in the name of Jesus.
Huh?
Rebuke you in the name of
You better fucking not. I swear to God, I'll fucking shoot you right in your fucking face.
Alright. Okay, I'm sorry.
Drop the fucking pot! Drop the fucking pot! Drop the fucking pot!
19 shots fired.
Shots fired! Shots fired! Drop the fucking pot! Bring EMS now. We got a headshot wound to the female. Headshot wound to the female. 1078. Fuck.
I was on. I'm gonna go get my kit.
No, your headshot, dude. She's done. You can go get it, but that's a headshot. God damn it.
God, fuck. Yeah, I'm not taking fucking boiling water to the fucking head. And look, it fucking came right to our feet too. God damn it. Fuck. God damn it. You good? I'm good. You good? Yeah, I'm good. What's her got? Let her fucking just. God, there's nothing we can do, man. Fuck. You good? Alright. Fuck. Well, I mean, you know, what else do we do? I'm not taking hot boiling water to fucking face. And it already reached us. Fuck. They got a 52 en route? Yeah, 1078. She's still breathing, but she's losing a lot of blood, a lot of blood from the head.
According to report, like he said, it's still alive.
I'll go get my med kit. Go get, yeah, hurry, get your med kit. I mean, there's not much we can do. We can at least try and stop the blood.
He wanted to still help.
So, is there anything you think we can do for her? No. Alright, I'm not even going to waste my med stuff then. You want to run down real quick? Nope, not yet. Alright. House is cleared. She was the only one. Where's she going? No, she had a boiling water and came at me with boiling water. You shot her? Yeah. She said she was going to rebuke me in the name of Jesus and came out with boiling water. That's what all this is. I was standing right here. Alright. And that's where he's landed.
What do y'all need from us?
Just nothing right now.
He can't hear you, Uncle Jack. He's on mute.
I need cranks and shit around the front of the house if you guys can. But other than that, that's I think it.
Anything else suspect?
Me.
Oh, I didn't know what happened.
Yeah, I'm good. This fucking bitch is crazy.
Nope. Oh, that makes you rest in peace. Oh, that bitch is crazy.
Yeah.
No, that's why he's locked up. That's why the judge said he's a threat to society. Straight up.
Yeah, they need to
It's
throw
a
the-
whole
throw the-
response to that shit.
He needs to be under the jail for real, for real.
Word.
Definitely, man. He needs to be way under the jail. Rest in peace to that woman. You didn't deserve that. No one deserves that. No one deserves, especially the call was made the day before. Be on the lookout for my daughter. She's a paranoid schizophrenic. And she's having delusions right now. We'll send some cops over that have sense.
Then, as you could see, was that I guess that was the lieutenant or the sergeant. I think more so.
That said, where's the gun?
Yeah, like, where's the gun? Where was the threat at? Like boiling water. That's what this was. You know what I mean? That was on the floor after you shot her, and she done hit the pot and burnt her as well as it hit the floor. But anyway, but you see how disappointed the cops was when he was outside? Like they just looked like,
oh, you are done.
Yo, that's what it looked like.
You did it? He's like, yeah, with pride, kinda. You did it? All right. Laugh now, cry later, champ.
Yeah, a new detail also surfaced in my head as I was doing research today. There was also rumor that this cop's girlfriend or wife works at the mental institution or the rehab place that this woman was frequenting. You know, the Miss Massey was frequenting this place, and the cop knew ahead of time what this woman's mental disorder was or may have. I'm alleged. Like I said, the investigation isn't complete yet. And I honestly believe that I don't think that this guy is ever going to see the light of day again. Or you know, outside of a prison. This it's too like absolutely blatant. There's no ifs, ands, or buts. There's no questions at what took place. You know, like I said, I said my piece when it comes to it. Here's another awkward thing about that video is when the cop first drew his weapon, after hearing he's being rebuked in the name of God. That's such horse shit. I mean, it's such horse crap rather. And for him to get upset like that upset at that moment at those particular words, it's just like he escalated that whole situation. Whether it be good or evil, like I said, I want to get on the whole something thing again, but I think that's exactly what we took place. Last little detail is that there's another video where this woman was actually upset. She was watching through this video and she zoomed in and she could swear that she saw like a mist or something leaving the body of Miss Massey moments after she had actually passed, and that may or might have been her spirit leaving her body. Which, if that's also true, man, then like I'm like every time I see that video, man, I'm shaken up quite a bit by it. I'm not triggered by it, but at the same time, it's like I see you firsthand, evil. This is exactly what it is. It's good and evil. For her to escalate, quote unquote, escalate the whole situation by the name of God. No, man. There's nobody that's threatened by God. The only people who are threatened by God, and especially if you're not the religious type, I apologize, but the only people who are the ones with the devil. The ones who are with, if you're with God, then who would be against you? So I think that's how the guy reacted. He had a devil within him somehow, and he reacted to.
I don't get why he was still on the police force. How you have all of these? You don't have the good side. What is it? Merits. I'm gonna say merit. You don't have merits. You have demerits.
Evil has had more practice at being evil than we have breathing. So throughout all his life and throughout all her life, all these little steps were planned, and they all came together for this moment, for it to be on the body cam, for everybody to see. It's all led up. I mean, there's a plan to all of this. And it's either going to upset you as a human being, or you're going to take a step back and see it for what it is. This is a temptation for you to hate white cops. This is a temptation for you to think that they're all out there. Like you said, every one of those cops out there looked at him like, dude, what the fuck?
What have you done?
And now, what have you done? Yeah, basically, what have you done? You have just tainted the uniform. You've taken the confidence straight out of the public. There is a whole entire black public of that community there that will not trust a white cop. Did they let the guy out of the fucking jail? I don't know. Is he got his job? I don't know. So I don't even know if I want to get pulled over the whole 9 yards. If I get pulled over, if I rebuke this guy in the name of God, is he going to shoot me? See, that's the trick. That's the trick of evil. It's trying to get you to fucking respond like that. I guarantee you, if you all get pulled over by a cop, and you say, yes, let me get my ID. Yes, sir. Why am I pulled over? Okay. I could have sworn I was going on the speed limit. I saw you in my rearview mirror. I got nervous. Here's my ID. Okay, your car's back clean. Blah blah blah. Off you go. Because they don't want an incident like this to happen. They don't want that to reflect on every cop. Guarantee you, it's cops don't know. No, they've been under the fucking microscope for a very long time, so they're not going to act up, especially a demonstration of good and evil taking place like this. Because the greatest trick the devil ever pulled was fooling the world that he didn't exist, and this shows you right off the bat. By the word of God, whether she's mental or not, by word of God, she pissed that guy off.
That man was so triggered.
Yes, he was. By
don't
the
know if
word
he
of
thought,
God, he
like,
was triggered, bro. How can you
I
not be a
don't
believer
understand
after
if he
that,
thought that.
bro?
I don't know if he thought that the water was the rebuking, or like, like what made you sit there and draw your arm, your sidearm, and it's against water, not your taser, not your club,
No, to
the
react as
sidearm.
if his life was threatened. To react as if his life was threatened by invoking the name of Christ, invoking the name of the. That's what triggered him. That's of all the fucking insults that the human mind
Right?
can come up with. She didn't say any of that. She said something godly. She said something that was, and who knows? Maybe she may be a lunatic or somebody who's, I don't know how you put it, absent-minded to the point where she's just.
If
That
And I mean, I don't know, but it doesn't matter, bro. Everybody who is born and raised, and everybody in that room was born and raised in this country. Everybody's heard of God, and everybody's heard of like the peace that Christians really want to achieve. So blessing a situation with the name of God, or protecting the situation with the name of God, for an atheist or somebody who doesn't even believe in it, it's nothing at all. Those are just words. You know what? There's no energy in your words whatsoever. There is no God. There is no Satan. That you're just you're reading a book about this a fictitious gray-haired beard dude in the sky and the whole nine yards. There's nothing valid to it. If you're an atheist, that's exactly what you're thinking. Okay, so if the guy was an atheist in the first place, he wouldn't be triggered at that point if he didn't believe in God. So obviously, her denouncing him in the name of Jesus Christ was the end of all ends. That was the ultimate fuck you. And the only reason why that would be the ultimate screw you, sorry, I'll change my language, I apologize. But the only reason why it would be the ultimate F you is if you were a demon. If you were somebody who was anti-God. Even a believer, if somebody came to me and said, "Hey, I denounce you in the name of God," I'd laugh my ass off and I'd keep on walking. I'd be like, God bless you, and may He keep you in His ways, and may He keep me in my way, in His ways as well. All right, I'll let them know. You're trying to denounce Satan, and maybe they'll pull a little badness out of me, but I'm not worried.
you would say the devil's a lie.
right.
Yeah,
When
absolutely.
you rebuke the name of the devil, you would say the devil's a lie.
Yeah, and you can compel these spirits. If you're a believer, you can compel these spirits to leave the situation in the name of God, and that's what people believe. They truly believe that. And this woman believed it when she said it, and then all of a sudden, I'm sorry, I hate this to laugh or even giggle or even show excitement at this in any way, shape, or form, but it is video fucking proof that the name of God evoked evil in this person. The very evil that's in this dude's core, and it pushed him to a point where he had to expose himself. The devil or the evil that was within him had to expose himself to the world, the entire world. Everybody's watching this video. Everybody's seen this video across the states like there's no tomorrow. And there is no ifs, ands, or buts about it. What she said about God offended him and triggered him so bad that he had to draw his weapon and eliminate the holy threat that she wished upon him. She wished a holy threat. That's what that is. When you denounce Satan, when you denounce the devil in the name of God, you're asking God to come right before on this earth for me, please, in this moment of need, and get whatever is evil I can't see, whatever I can or can't see. Get this threat. I can't do anything about this. Only you can do this, and I'll pour even more, as much more of my love into you as I possibly can, if you protect me in this moment. Now, this woman is a martyr, a religious martyr in that regard, because she died doing that. She died believing in God, and this is her mark. This is her blessing to us as the ultimate sacrifice when it comes down to it. This was amazing to see, because the non-believers, this is what I've been trying to tell the non-believers for the longest of times. And I try to do it in my own way without quoting chapter and verse. Notice I haven't said, and Christ said this, and then Pat, you said that. No. Just use everyday stuff that we see from day to day, and you'll see the signs that God puts up for you, and it makes your path a little bit easier. It doesn't take all the bricks out of the briefcase, but at the same time, you find your path going a little bit easier when you see a sign like this. This is a bright, gigantic neon sign for any disbelievers whatsoever to be like, look, dude, Lord's getting pissed off at what's going on, and if he does return, you're going to want to be on the right side. You're going to want to be on the right side. You're going to be on the ark, or you're going to be in the flood. You're going to be, locusts are going to eat you up, or your firstborn's going to go. The Bible's filled with all kinds of examples, and it's the only time I'll tell them. But the Bible's filled with all kinds of examples of God getting fed up and putting his best foot down. So yeah, I think this is going to have the better message. And unfortunately, it cost a magnificent woman her life. She was magnificent in what her dying words were. They were inspiring, very inspiring.
They're going to overtrain the cops now. But Doc, you got any last thoughts? Because we got to move on to Kamala Harris before we on for 16 hours, because we can do it.
No, it is crazy, bro, and just hopefully people, get over that edited video that's out there because and stop giving that light first and foremost, because that didn't happen. Go by the facts of the videos that you see, and it's just crazy how it popped up in an election year. It's got this big spotlight on it right now, and first and foremost, you don't hear nobody talking about it as far as none of them people that's running for office, but it's a touchy subject. It's a black and white subject. It's a cop and citizen subject. It's it's bad in our community subject. That we gotta get right within our community and start policing our community, and not only policing it but build within our community and do better. We just gotta do better within ourselves.
Yeah, that's the fact. Before we change off subject, that situation was beyond that's something that's beyond belief. How you sit there, you're on film, your guy has his camera on. Thank goodness he had. Thank goodness he had
his on.
Thank goodness. And for that woman to and then I'm assuming hopefully that operator passed down that message from the mother, and they didn't just take it. Oh, it's just it's a psycho alert or something like you get what I mean? Because you hear psycho and the word is not broken down. The actual word, like, listen, this is what she does. She has delusions, but she hasn't hurt anybody. She hasn't hurt herself.
Listen, bro, they are in that position to pick up this certain word, certain keyword, certain
trigger word.
You understand? So they in a position, like, they're not in a position for like how we are, as if we hear something like that, we would probably shake it off because we don't have to deal with that person. But now they inside this situation where they have to deal with these type of people. You may get a call about this person, which you did get a call about this person. So now you as a regular person, you do that, you brush it off your shoulder. But now, as a person that you had a job, would you still have that job next week? Would you still have that job 2 weeks ago? Because you was warned. Now, did you pass it to the proper channels? That's the next question. And be honest with you, and I hate to jump it off this subject, but with the world going on, with the ex-president getting assassinated on live TV, and the Secret Service and FBI don't know what's going on with that, like, our world is crazy, bro. This is little compared to what's going on in the world. So this may get shoved under the rug too. So I just don't never know how this world gonna go.
Well, I'll tell you what, it is a sad day because I'm watching the Democratic Party implode on itself because they went in and had all of this media that led the Democratic constituents or the voters to believe that all of these needs could be done all at once, like from the climate to policing to foreign affairs.
It doesn't matter, yo. You know me to cut you off, moves. It doesn't matter what we want. If it's not inside that program and we not be going fighting against it, then that program is going to be put into place, bro. And don't mean to cut you off because we did a final thought just to go off. And I'm just comparing apples with apples. You understand? If the FBI and the Secret Service can't find out what happened and time frame, and they couldn't stop that, and right there, and human beings saw it. You understand? We could have stopped that. We could have stopped that. You understand? So I'm just saying, a human being, no matter what we want, unless we get together and become private citizens and start heeding to the Constitution and not these other policies that's put into place, then we effed up, bro. We totally effed up. And that's either red or blue. We need to stop thinking on red and blue lines because it doesn't matter red or blue lines. It's going to be what it is because they want it, bro.
Well,
you know, and we about to go into Kamala Harris and all of that. So
So let's I don't want to distract from the subject. Yeah.
You know, it's crazy, bro. Go ahead.
It is. I should have just dedicated the whole show to her, but nah, for real. But I know it already made me feel some kind of way because I was sitting there talking and my mic was off, and I'm glad it was because I was just cursing like up a storm. I was like, I'm glad my mic was off because this show would have had to just go in the garbage because you wouldn't have put no ads on it. Too much cursing. So. Man, listen,
I apologize for my mouth too, man. You told me 3 times. I would have put my foot down on 3 times.
It kind of balances out to nothing.
Yeah. Okay.
So, but that woman should still be here with her 2 children. She's only 36 years old, and she was a known and reported paranoid schizophrenic. It's not like that. It's no reason. It's no sense. And to be, I don't mean lucky, but for that police department, they lucky they're not in Chicago because it was outside of Chicago. If they were in Chicago, it would have went down bad. For the police, it would have went down bad. Every street they'd have tried to patrol. Get up out of here, and it would have been gunfire with that. It would have been more and more deletions every day. You gotta go. You gotta go. And good cop or not, it won't matter just for that situation. Just for that situation. And I hope they do the right thing. So far they are. And I'm surprised they responded so fast in locking this man up. Because usually, he'd have been free for about 6 months. Mm-hmm. Until the people would have been in such an uproar. They're like, all right, we got to do something. No, they responded real quick. They locked him up. No bail. No nothing. No. They didn't let him out at all. Like, he's where he deserves to be. Well, he's not where he deserves to be yet.
No, by far. But example as he may be, what I think I draw from this is that I'm going to try and be more spiritually aware of what I say, what influences me, how to like not get so excitable, especially like with this whole biblical thing, this tangent that I've gone on on this podcast and that kind of thing. And now that I had a chance to kind of calm down from it, because it excites me to the point where like I don't want to be influenced by it, but I also want to pull whatever understanding I possibly can out of it. So yeah, coming to the conclusion during this podcast, that she is in fact a martyr in this in this whole regard, and that things transpired in the way they did. It's like there's no fat on it. There's no ifs, ands, or buts on it. But yeah, that's basically what I wanted to say.
Yeah, I appreciate it. But yeah, I don't even really want to move on. But we're gonna move on. We're gonna speak on Miss Harris. I don't even see. To me, her name is Kamala, and that's wrong and it's disrespectful. I don't want to call her that because I think of the wrestler, the mighty Kamala. Ooh. But I'm gonna call her Miss Harris. I don't know if she's married, Mrs. Harris. Candidate Harris.
Madam President, Madam Vice President.
That's like
VP.
saying you're wrong.
Or VP.
Yeah.
VP.
I mean, I've read a lot of books, in my time, and I'd never come across the name. So I've heard newscasters pronounce it incorrectly or correctly. I don't know if I think it's an Indian name or maybe it's a made up name. You never know nowadays. It'd be a little bit easier if it was Carrie or Stephanie or some shit like that. But at the same time, I do respect her as a woman, but only so far. I lived in California when she was the attorney general and or district attorney.
Quick question for you, since you were over all the way on the other side of the mountains from us. Now they say that she was a 304, a thotty.
Yes. Yeah.
Was that rumor out there too?
It's the governor or mayor. It was high in politics in California.
Can't hear nobody. Can you hear me, Uncle Jackie?
I can hear you. I can't hear you. Moves.
Yeah,
you can't hear you.
There you are. Yeah, I got a spam call. You hear me now?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, there we are. All right. So where was I before I was so rudely interrupted? Oh yeah. So yes. Not only that. All right. So being the DA, her job is to put people in fucking friggin' prison. Okay. And that she friggin' did. She did a lot of that, and a lot of people of color went into at least 10,000, if I'm not mistaken.
I heard that.
Throughout California, ended up getting arrested. So they ended up spending jail time and prison time through the crime bill. Okay, so the crime bill was authored by none other than Joe Biden.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, no BS whatsoever. The president of the United States wrote the crime bill that put tens of thousands, if not hundreds of thousands of people across the U.S. into prison over charges like having a friggin' seed in your floorboard.
Mm-hmm.
Man, it really does get that ridiculous.
Like Vegas is one of them states where they had, if you had a seed or a stick or anything other than marijuana, that you was gonna get locked up.
The next thing I'm going to ask you, gentlemen, okay, because you would know better than I, or you should, okay. How did Mayor Giuliani clean up from Times Square all the way up to 125th Street? How did he do that, guy?
But
your perspective may be. Remember, you were older than me when Julie was in there, but I remember when Julie was in there. So, okay, I'll concede to you.
All right, so it was the RICO Act, okay. He wrote the RICO Act. Okay?
Oh no! I was talking to Doc because I was gonna say he just went and he once he went after the mafia and he targeted them and did all of that with the mafia, was locking up crime bosses and this, that, and the third. For me, that's
where you get those Gambino. Yeah, that's where you get those Gambino trials that you saw on TV. That's where you got your okay.
Mm-hmm.
So then after Kamala had, or she didn't personally lock up all of it, but the laws that she had pressed got all kinds of folks into jail. what she did is she went in and allegedly got a contract. This is all allegedly because it hasn't been
I
investigated
get
yet.
you. We don't know.
It won't be. It won't come out until it won't be broad spread until she's in office. Once she's in office, that's when all the bullshit and all that stuff, all the truth will come out on there. Okay, this is exactly what I've noticed about the Joe Biden situation. Like all of a sudden, Hunter Biden's laptop is appearing with all the indecent kid stuff and all that kind of stuff, because they want Joe Biden out. Period. He screwed up on the debate, and once he screwed up with the debate, the cat was out of the bag. We've had this invalid in the office for the past 4 years, and we've basically been putting shit in front of him. So sign here. You're a walking, talking signature, and that's why we want you in office, and that's exactly why Joe Biden is in office. Now, I'm not going to say how he got into office because those investigations aren't done yet. But at the same time, if he's placed into office and his incompetency was hidden before the 2020 election, then how did he get 80 million votes? That's what people need to be asking themselves. How did he get the most votes any president ever got in history?
Wow.
You got Nixon was the most popular candidate in history when he was put into the office, and they ousted him like there was no tomorrow. The most popular president in the United States at that point was Nixon, and then his vice president gets shipped off for tax evasion. When they want you, just like what Doc was suggesting earlier, when they don't want you there anymore, they'll take you right the hell out. Now,
So you think they're scapegoats of some sort, like Nixon and like these two guys?
absolutely.
Popular?
Absolutely. Biden was the signature, and so was I would venture to say Obama was, but at the same time, I haven't done enough research to really like feel the conviction there in any way, shape, or form. Because I'm more interested in what's going on right now. And the thing is that as far as Kamala, as far as she's concerned, respectfully.
VP
That kind of thing. The woman was Montel's side piece. I'm sorry, and she is vice president. How did that happen? Okay, now how did that not come out? How did my Democratic friends, my brothers, because they're Americans too? How is it that was hidden from them while they were in the voting booth? How is it that she got onto the ticket? How did she get where she is right now? There's no, like, besides being the DA in the state of California, and a failed one at that, because, you know, she's everything short of having slaves coming out of the prison and doing the underbidded contract work, allegedly. But at that point, how does that add up to a Democratic vice president? It doesn't one bit. I don't care if she's white, black, or a person of color or not. What she did was deplorable to her communities and to a lot of communities in that regard. Jail time is not, especially on trumped up charges, white, black, or otherwise, it's still BS. And then turn around and using those same guys, those same suckers, to go and build bridges and build highways and clean up highways and shit like that, crap like that. And it's not propaganda I'm giving you. She did this. Period.
Right. I mean, you know, Ferg, that's why I wanted to start with that, because you were over there in the West Coast. Just like we know how Giuliani actually cleaned up New York, which is like the same way. I mean, he used when he bullied the mafia, then he trickled down like the stop and frisk. That right there was all him.
Yeah.
The stop and frisk was all him.
And not only that, but just stopping, using laws and policy that was already instated, and just using it to the end, like no more peeing. You know what I mean? I forgot what the name of it.
Quick question about stop and frisk. Did stop and frisk happen after 9/11?
The stop and frisk? That was way before.
Yeah.
Way before.
Yeah, that was way before.
Did it stop after 9/11? You said?
Yeah,
it kept going for a while, but supposedly it was Bloomberg was it Bloomberg? He ended up, dismantling because Bloomberg kept all of Rudy Giuliani's legislation, his all of his laws. He kept in place. All he did was take care of the business end of New York City. That's all he did. Can't no one tell me different. And this, I'm going to say allegedly too, because this is my brain working. But it seems it's the same. It was the same thing in terms of the stock restriction still intact, and you could basically just bully citizens because of how they looked and how they dressed. And he just said, you know what? I'm going to make sure Wall Street is booming. That's what I'm going to take care of. I'm going to let who was the commissioner at the time? And what was it? Raymond Kelly? I believe it was Commissioner Raymond Kelly. He probably let him handle all police matters. Raymond Kelly's not. He was always on TV for something gone wrong. Him and the guy before him. I think he was a Raymond too. I can't remember him though.
But no, Kurt or Bratton.
Commissioner Bratton, William Bratton. He wasn't, but he was an idiot too. William Bratton, he was an idiot too. He was always on TV, and so was Raymond, whatever this idiot's name was. They were always on TV for the cops misjudging situations, mishandling situations. You are on the panel, and we will continue to train. And how many times we're going to continue to train and do better and this, that, and the third. How many times we're going to hear that? This man is not coming back because your cop is undertrained now. Eli, what's good, bro?
You know what? And that's here's another kind of observation too, is that I noticed that the cops seem to be better in rural or country areas than they are in the city. And I think I made the observation why. Cops in the country, they grow up shooting. When I was a kid, from 9 to 11, I got to clean the guns that my folks would go to the firing range and fire. I didn't get to pull a trigger or nothing, but for 2 years I had to clean those weapons when we were done with them. And the whole aspect of it is that my brother and I would handle it so much that they were just like any other toy that we would disregard, or a plate or a fork. It'd be no different than any, and it wasn't. So by the time I pulled the trigger, I was 11 years old, and I knew how to aim and calm myself down, know where the target is, know what the background is, and make sure that I was only hitting my target, blah, blah, blah. All these little basic steps that are given to military age guys in boot camp and that kind of stuff. So when you are brought up in the city and you're brought up in the Bronx or and this is just me assuming, okay? They don't get that opportunity that often to even go hunting or learn how to hunt, and because one of the main purposes out here in the country here to learn how to shoot is to first and foremost feed yourself. It's not your secondary is defense. If you had it in a perfect world, but right. At the same time, if you can take down a deer which is 30, 40 pounds shy of a human being, then you may be able to protect yourself at a lethal level. Okay, so when you have somebody that's brought up in a concrete jungle or a concrete prison, what I would call it, you don't have these long distances. You don't have the countryside or places that are safe for you to practice shooting. So right. The cops going into these situations. I saw an exhibit one time where they were bringing the new recruits in, and they had this table full of 38s, and this female cop grabbed this 38 by the butt of the gun, and then she dropped it too, and it was like, oh shit, this is what the cops have to train. This is what the academy has to train. So, but at the same time, you don't want country influence coming in and regulating the city, because the country is more peaceful, and anything outside that quiet is gigantically loud to somebody from the country. So it's like you don't want somebody popping off like seeing an argument between two folks in Harlem. Like, okay, last story, last little 20-second statement. I was on the fire escape, and I was looking down, and I seen this black couple arguing, right? And this dude is in her face, man. And he's just like cursing up a storm. I think in any second now he may slap her or hit her or something like that. Because I don't see this every day. It's like maybe I should call the cops. I was like everything, and I said to myself, I was just like, give it a second, give it a second. Well, shit, you not. Maybe you were there, Jackson. Jackie, I don't know, but
No, I wasn't there.
the woman goes into the building, and the dude turns around because he's got his car parked right in front of the building, right in front of the stoop and everything. And he turns around to go unlock the door, and she comes out running with this 2-pound sledgehammer in her hand. A 2-pound sledgehammer in her hand. She came running out of her building, and she took a swing at him, and he saw her in the reflection of his vehicle, his passenger side window, and he stepped aside, and she put that hammer right through the window and the whole 9 yards. So I thought to myself, okay, she's got it handled. There's no need for me. All you got to do is just observe, mind your own business. Just no matter what goes on, just mind your business, and everybody else will mind theirs. And from that point on, I learned. Like it was like, this is a different world. Like if it's something like it was escalating in the country, yeah, the fucking 6 sheriffs would show up, loaded for bear, they're ready to arrest somebody. But yeah. So yeah, it's like I said, it's a different whole. It's kind of weird that the cities have the most population and they need the most peace, and you go out to the country where there's less population and there is the most peace. So it's like, how do you bring the same peace that's regulated the same way into the city so people feel safe in the whole 9 yards without feeling like you're on some sort of kill list like some cop has. So it's like, that's what needs really to happen. That peace needs to be shared, like somehow, some way. Because if we could figure that out, man, fuck, you're giving the power of the people at that point to make change. That's what they don't want.
So my next question for all of this, you think this woman has any chance in hell of winning anything?
One of two things are going to happen. The election will be stolen, and she'll get into the White House because she is a walking, talking signature along with Biden. Okay. I don't think that, the Trump will win a legitimate presidency at this point because he went in the polls. He skyrocketed after the assassination attempt. Now, was the assassination attempt or the unaliving attempt, allegedly or whatever, the unaliving attempt, was it good for his campaign? Yes. Do I believe that it was planned in any way, shape, or form? Hell no. You don't get that close. There's not a marksman that's that talented, that would go. But at the same time, either way, I believe that if Kamala gets into the White House, we'll see a lot more of our tax dollars go towards the Ukraine, go towards Israel, go towards Iran, because we'll play the neutral party that wants to give money to everybody to support multiple wars. Because at the end of the day, they'll just owe us. Because they knew they were going to take us off the fuel dollar. They were going to start, with the. So since all that crap is already in motion, and they gave somehow in some way, allegedly, we gave limited fuel money to Russia by letting them complete their pipeline and then blowing it up. So, these are like things that could have easily been avoided if we had just said, hey, you know what, you guys figure it out yourselves in the whole 9 yards. You know what, it is Israel and Palestine. You guys need to figure that out yourselves. You need to figure out Ukraine. You're not even in the UN. You need to figure that crap out yourself. And there'd have been hundreds of billions of dollars that have been able to be invested in all kinds of other things. like helping the inner city kids to, name the problem at that point. But instead, we get involved in a lot of political stuff. So when Kamala Harris goes into the office, and respectfully, I don't know what the pronunciation of her name is, but that's what she's walking into. Now, she has not campaigned in any way, shape, or form and said, "Hey, I'm going to stop the war in Israel. I'm going to stop the war in Palestine. I'm going to stop this, that, and the other thing." No, she's not. She hasn't said a word about that. How she's going to help the environment? How she's going to help peace throughout the world? Oh my God, I haven't heard a word. But what it is a lot of pandering, a lot of like, here, let me tell you what you want to hear.
There's gonna be.
Yo,
Hey, how you feel, Doc?
DP crazy boys. You know what I mean? Daniel crazy.
Yeah, I agree though.
I mean,
But what you feel, Doc?
I think she's gonna get in and win. One, I don't think they want Trump. They don't want Trump in office. You gotta understand, Trump is not part of the agenda. He was never part of the agenda. Trump came out from nowhere and he stole the election. I mean, when I say stole it in a good way. Stole it like people voted for him. Wow. Now I mean,
yeah, like ghost style.
Yeah, so he had people come out there and vote for him. He brought people out the woodworks, you know what I mean? And literally out the woodwork. But this time around, as you can see with that assassination attempt, you know what I mean? His people around him don't want him around. You know what I mean? People in certain areas don't want him around. This whole thing is a big thing. But going back to the VP, you know what I mean? Certain things gonna be brought out, like Move said, after the fact. After she get in, it's gonna be brought out to, with proof saying X, Y, and Z. But she's gonna be part of the agenda. She's gonna be part of pushing the agenda that they want, which is funneling money to Ukraine. You know what I mean? With the private sector, taking the money and doing whatever they're doing with the money. You know what I mean? Pocketing or whatever. And all the other, political moves that they want to do. So it's going to be put into place, but she's not going to have the Senate. You know what I mean? She's not going to have the Senate. And with her not having the House, the House and the Senate, it's going to be rough. You know what I mean? She's not going to have the whole deal. That's what I'm trying to say. One or the other is going to be split. Whether the House or the Senate, you know what I mean?
This is kind of why I want Trump to win, because like he's talking about, like Kennedy was talking about, dissolving the CIA, having full transparency on the FBI, CIA, having these branches investigate themselves, the best people to investigate these branches, to prosecute and rid the country of these people that are trying to ideologically subvert the American public. Now, what I mean is that they use ideological means to get everybody gaslighted like there's no tomorrow. And I think if the Republicans weren't so, or the conservatives, if they weren't so patient about things, and if they didn't vote with their mind instead of their heart, if they voted with their hearts and their feelings instead, we'd all be in the same boat. I think the simple fact that like it just seems like Trump has constantly been trying to make up for the Central Park 5. I think he truly felt like he really screwed up on a public level and on a personal level too, because
that's definitely for sure. But hold on.
Yeah.
Yo, Dan,
I got you, bro. Let me go. I got you.
Okay.
I'm typing on there.
But hold on. Still, because I didn't get to give my opinion on this election. I don't. She's not getting in. That's just for real. She's not getting in. Trump is going to get in again. It's going to be anyone but her. I don't think she gets in. I don't think America's going to vote for her. See, like he said, the House is going to be divided. I think America is going right toward Trump. Because now I'm use this small sample of what I mean. On my Facebook now, I have enough people to make, a broad judgment. Well, not broad, excuse me. To make a good judgment, there's enough people on my page. The same people that were screaming Biden and Democratic are not screaming that anymore. And it's been a huge shift in how they feel over these last 4 years.
But now, I could say, and I don't know who's on your Facebook, but I would say more so people that follow you on YouTube. Since you had your channel, you more on the male side. You understand? But I don't, like I said, I don't know where if it's
Nah,
Facebook.
my Facebook is totally different from YouTube.
Yeah.
Totally
I would say YouTube will be more because you more so
the male side.
you
Yeah,
male, not putting down females, but pointing out female flaws and what just that and the third. You know what your channel do. You know what I mean?
No, I know. But now my Facebook page, my YouTube page is male dominated. That's a fact. But that's why I didn't use YouTube because I already know.
Yeah, but most of your
I'm using Facebook. I'm hearing the women talking about I need my stimulus checks back. I need these gas prices lowered and blah blah blah. And this man is not competent. I'm telling you, it's like I
my date should be $1,000.
Yeah, I need
my
that
date should be $1,000.
Yeah.
Now everybody's saying that, and that's fine and dandy, and everybody may jump on that and may want that. I mean, may think that that's where their brain is. You know what I mean? But in all due reality, if you look at the facts of what he presenting, what he's spitting out, it ain't even me saying allegation. It ain't even me saying assuming. It's just how he talk, who he talking to, and how he talk to people. You understand? And the respect that is given. You know what I mean? And if people could bypass that, then like I said, this world is effed up because at the end of the day, people are not going on what's right and wrong. People are just going on stimulation. People going off emotions. People going off being soft and not hardened and being able to, buckle down for a couple of years or buckle down for a couple of months because we in hardship. You understand? People don't know that. People rather go out there and hit the corners. You know what I mean?
Well, I'm gonna say this: if Trump gets in, which I'm sure he will, he makes it popular to be a man again. I'm gonna keep it 100. Yeah. He throws all feelings away. He does the logic. Mm-hmm. Everything is logic and reason with him. Mm-hmm. Well, if you want to, for example, his last campaign. Well, if you don't want me doing this for my taxes, then change the laws.
But listen, I don't think they want that there. I don't think they want that there. So I think it's going to be fixed to where he's not going to get in, bro. He may not even be, he may be getting alive. I hate to say it, but that man wasn't supposed to live past that day.
I don't think he was supposed to go into the office.
What was that?
He wasn't supposed to go into the office in the first place. You had the cut the DNC with Hillary Clinton's emails and the whole 9 yards, man. Jesus,
but look, what we're missing out too, and what we're missing out and what we're not talking about is it may not be his agenda that's being screwed out into the world and being talked about, but Project 25. Is his type of people, you know what I mean? Then it may not be fully Republican people, but there's certain type of genre and not generation, but certain type of people that Trump like to, entertain. And with that,
but I have a counterpoint to that though. Check this out: if Trump can't please somebody into doing something that is good for the country, he leans on them by shaming them. So like what he does is like Twitter at 2 o'clock, 3 o'clock in the morning. He'll banter out something about somebody who's resisting his thing. All right, like take for instance what he did with Ford Motor Company. Okay, so he went to Ford Motor Company. He said, "Look, I understand that you guys got plans to move your factories down to Mexico because of the cheaper labor." He said, "I tell you, if you do that, I will put a 35 or 38% tax on everything that comes into the American border after that, and nobody will buy any of your vehicles because at 35%, you think of like a $40,000 vehicle, you're at a $70,000, $80,000 vehicle, and there's no way when somebody can go to a Chevy or any other of the bigger competition." And Ford Motor Company kept those jobs in the United States. Actions speak louder than words with Trump when it comes down to it. Yes, he may be bombastic and he may be a little loud on that aspect of things, but at the same time, I've looked for him saying the N bomb or saying something racist or anything like that, and not. I think the woman's name was Jennifer Hudson. She's a black actress. Am I correct? Is that her name? Jennifer Hudson. Yes, she came home to her family that was slaughtered, right? And what happened after that? Donald Trump put her into the Trump Tower with top security until the dust settled. And that has been wiped away from Wikipedia. And why? So this is why I want the man in the office. Because none of these high powers want him in the office. Not the media, not the CIA, not the FBI, not any of the NSA, these big oil companies don't want him in there because he'll regulate the shit out of that too. Watch. And the military companies like Grumman and Lockheed Martin, your big pharma companies don't want him in there because he doesn't want to push any vaccinations or anything like that because now he's aware of those dangers and he's aware of the profits that these big pharmas did. So big pharma money can't. He's turning down billions of dollars of support at that point. Honestly, all he has to do is talk to Pfizer. He doesn't even have to talk to the rest of them, like Ford Motor Company, Chevy, or any of these other huge companies, and say, "Hey, you know what? No matter what you guys do, you walk on water. And when I get into office, you guys will walk on water. Don't worry about it. I got you guys." No, these guys they shot at him because he does not want any of those companies or those departments to have any control over the rights of the American citizens. That's where the man's coming from. America first. That's what it's all about. America first.
And I think the citizens agree with that too.
Yeah, it just has been a while.
I know if I were a voter, I'm not voting for VP Harris. There's no way I'm voting for her. Period. I'm going to go Trump because Trump. I think Trump thing is as long as you are working, he has respect for you. No matter where you work, as long as you're working, trying to do whatever it is, the right thing, you blue collar, whatever it is you're doing, just keep doing it. And it is what it is. We done had 4 years of this was horrible. See, at least I know with the 4 years of Trump, that gas price started with $2. With that gas price
when the education for you creating your own business is being messed with, it's been a right for every American citizen to create their own business and whole 9 yards. When the education to create your own business and very successful business, books like that are being pulled out of universities, and these are like Harvard, Yale, the whole 9 yards. And Trump, yes, he got his investment money from Daddy, but what he did with that money, there's 10 of my closest friends I could throw a stick and hit that I would not trust $10 million with. I would not trust them with $10 million. I wouldn't give me $10 million because over the period of years, I've made around $10 million, and look where I'm at now. I'm not living the life in any way, shape, or form, but I live a life. The thing is that the art of the deal was a step-by-step manual of what Trump did to succeed, creating his brand and building his buildings and starting from the first property that he bought. And he was so successful that this was taught in business classes. There was a whole business class dedicated to it that you could take to get qualified and going into business and marketing and all that kind of crazy stuff, and branding and all of that kind of stuff. But it was taken off the shelf. You can't go to the Amazon and get the art of the deal. I could be mistaken by now, but during the election, you couldn't get it.
Hey,
wait a second. The system doesn't want this man. I want that guy. I want that guy the system doesn't want. I want that guy because that guy, he threatens them somehow, some way.
Because he might make change. But listen, we're going on 2 hours. I want to wrap this up with your final thoughts on VP Harris, Trump, maybe a minute or two apiece, and we're going to wrap it up because it's knocking on 2 hours, and I want to play my baseball game. I'm not even going to lie.
Beautiful.
Not going to lie. I'll be on Twitch later on. If anybody's on Twitch, hit me on Xbox Live.
I'm just going to leave. Look, I'm just going to leave the people with this. You know what I mean? Because I'm low on the battery, and my battery going first. We having a conversation about Massey. That's the first. What's her name? Sorry, I'm getting her name wrong.
Sonia Massey.
Sonia Massey. We just had a whole hour and change about Sonia Massey, and a cop that a cop should be arrested and held fully force for using force against nothing. You know what I mean? Now, if Trump is in office, this officer will have qualified immunity, and he will not be held accountable in which way. Only way he'd be held accountable, which would be the department discipline. Okay, and then this conversation that we have, and we're gonna continue on having. You understand? That is one course away where it affects me to the lower levels. You understand? Now, whether gas prices and whether business-wise he's a good dude for America, yes. But we can't forget what happened on January 6th either. The Capitol almost got overran. Even though the people inside there allowed them people to walk through, even though they were protesting, even though there was people protesting in New York City, in California, and Texas, and all these other places that got manhandled by police. Not state police, but by the departments, by departmental police. We are under siege as American citizens, either with the blue and the red, be honest with you. You know what I mean? We just have to wake up and educate ourselves individually so that way we can properly move within the demise and the means that's in front of us. You know what I mean? Whether you spiritual, whether you're not spiritual, I mean, you just got to gravitate to whatever you gravitate to and hold it down for hopefully the next 4 years. You know what I mean? Whether, like I said, whether blue or red. You know what I mean? But there's a steeper hill to climb, I should say. There's a harder hill to climb if we get one or the other there, and one way or another, our rights may be taken away with another person there. You understand? And we may not know our rights is being taken away because they just may influence it or may tell us this is the law. So we just have to be careful on who we choose and do our homework and do our due diligence, especially at the African American community, and just be aware of who we're voting for. Because I don't think I'm voting for either or. You know what I mean? I just may be the person that messed up the numbers.
Appreciate you, bro. Hey, Ron. Moves.
Yeah, dude, I slept up earlier tonight anyways too. I was like, I didn't even call my own name out. Well, as far as like I said before, either the election is going to get stolen again, and Kamala will go into the office. I don't think she can get into the office as far as legitimate votes. Trump's his popularity skyrocketed when the assassination attempt happened. I think it opened up a lot of eyes as far as people paying attention to why these changes in the infrastructure have taken place over this past mysterious 4 years and the 8 years that took place before Trump. And remember, folks, that actions speak louder than words. And as our discussion earlier about Miss Massey, God rest her soul, um, the words actually conjured the actions, which is something that we also have to pay attention to. We're dealing with things on an energy level that if your intuition is telling you that perhaps I should bless the situation, maybe it's the last resort. But I'm not here to thump, but at the same time, I do believe that there is good and evil in this world that we can't see. It's had a lot more practice than at being mischievous and being right there out in front of your very eyes, and people just still not believing. And so at this point, the video itself is kind of represents quite a bit. Now, as far as Trump, I just kind of had a lot of some words when it comes to that, because it really still is a toss of a coin. Yes, I know I want the same kind of actions that took place during his presidency to take place again. So yeah, I'm obviously going to vote for him. But we're in we're in the time of false prophets too, and everybody has a voice. So we do have to watch and wait and see if Trump does spoil in any way, shape, or form. Because if it does happen, we all have voices now. What Elon Musk did with Twitter opened up our voices, and YouTube's been a little bit more lenient. But Facebook seems to stick to its guns. The Google search was pulling semantics earlier this week when it came down to searching for the assassination attempt to pop up with Kamala Harris responses, and they've changed that algorithm. But these things don't accidentally happen. None of this stuff accidentally happens. It happened for a purpose, and all we got to do is really pay attention. And I think there's so much wrong going in the world. There is the good that has to prevail or rear its ugly face and remind us that there is something in the humanity. So anyways, God bless everybody that's watched, and sorry I've been long-winded and cursing on top of that. I'll look to polish up my palaver. But other than that, man, thanks for having me, and thanks for everybody watching. Appreciate it.
Well, appreciate you, Moves. Appreciate you. There'll be a next time, brother. Don't worry about it. Because the world is not going to change. We're always going to have something to talk about, especially when it's concerning politics and such.
Yeah, for now. It could be aliens next year. Who knows?
And Miss VP Harris might be one of them. We don't even know. You're right.
That's what Uncle Jackie goes. Now, what do you got to say about God now? Who's God? All right, we got aliens here. From other planets. Who made them? Oh, come on now. All right.
Right.
So yeah, I look forward to having that conversation one day. That'd be funny. Anyway, take care. You have a good one. Be good. Be good at it.
Always. But yeah, before we get out of here, I appreciate everybody who tuned in. The Olo Yellow Tape, appreciate you for dropping by, bro. Appreciate you. Desi Dez, always appreciate, always love, bro. Dan, appreciate you, bro. Eli, Farquhar, Grace, Denise, Chris Tom. I didn't even know you were in here, but Chris Tom, appreciate you. T, Lila, L. Shurin, 757. Soon I'm going to have to stop this because it seems like it's going to become too much. Pause. Professor, L. Storm, Hef. Salute to the rest of y'all because this is taking a long time. But appreciate y'all for coming through. No, Kamala Harris ain't winning shit. No, I don't even vote. I don't even play the political game. But I am a U.S. citizen, and I see what happens. I experience what happens. I drive. I do this. I do that. I see what's going on. And I know Trump is about business and getting money. All that other stuff, and at least you'll have your racism up front in your face. You ain't got to worry about it no more. VP Harris, I'm not going for that. I'm just not. It's bad enough most of the time. The person at the top is a figurehead. So I'm definitely not going for the Ms. Harris, VP Harris. I'm not going for that. I mean, Trump seems to be the better decision, and I'll agree with that. I'm not going to run around, with a go get me a fitted 5950 that say, Trump supporter. But at the end of the day, it is what it is in terms of that. But once again, I'd like to thank those who tuned in. Thank those who are going to tune in later. Titi, what's going on? But appreciate Moves and Doc for coming through. But yeah, it's about that time. Y'all have a good night, and I'll see y'all soon with Tony.
Talk of New York. The real talk of New York. Y'all niggas know what time it is.
Good night, Miss Brinson. Of course, appreciate you for stopping by. Always love.
He talks like his shit don't stink, but he's good people. I knew his father. I liked his Uncle Jackie better. Jackie was all right. Uncle Jackie was excellent. Fucking guineas. Uncle Jackie. Uncle Jack was like...
Get in line, everybody get in line. Listen the fuck up. It's going down. Pay attention. Alright? Now, niggas salute me. Bitches salute me. The block salute me. The hood salute me. You should salute me. They should salute me. So fuck who you are. I'm the motherfucking general. Niggas salute me. Bitches salute me. The block salute me. The hood salute me. You should salute me. They should salute me. So fuck who you are. When I walk through, everything stops. Silence, remain quiet. Babies don't cry. Thugs don't.
Yo, I think it's time we take a fucking time out to hear what Harlem got to say. What, niggas? Harlem on the rise. You don't want no problem with us, guys.
Practice. I can show you practice. I can show you how to put $1 million in a mattress. I can show the difference between an icon and a classic. Baby in the major should be rolling in a basket. I'm advanced, and it's a lot of dance. From anywhere, my jewelry jump like Ja Morant. And Kif Tower shorts got me tanning with the babes. You would be a surfer if you ever had this wave. I just switch up my cabana, they throw shade. Matter top 5, the top wives know I'm the fade. And throw them out the loop, I be mute, playing cute, nothing to say to you. Cause when I'm back home, I'm like Kyrie, I won't play with you. This is Magic with the fur, Tim Duncan on the spur, Tanya Harton on the skate. This that Kobe number 8. This the kick over the head in the hand of Sue Bird. This boy's superb. All I got is 2 words. Mace.